ॐ रत्नाकराधौतपदां हिमालयकिरीटिनीं ब्रह्मराजर्षिरत्नाढ्यां वन्दे भारतमातरम्. Namaste. Every person sees this world in his own way. The way I see this world is different from the way you see this world. We may have same eyes and ears, but if both of us witness the same event, what I see and hear is different from what you see and hear. We are all same, yet we are all different. Our faculties are same, but our experiences are different. But both of us think we are right. So I feel my point of view is correct, and I try to impress you about the same. You will also try and convince me about your views. Most of the times, our views are contradictory, and there is a clash on which is right. How will I convince you that I am right and you are not? First, I will try to rationalize my argument. I can try and quote from authoritative texts which you trust to prove my point. I will tell others who agree with me to convince you. Still, if you don't agree, well, then I have two choices. One, I can say you have to agree with me because I am more powerful than you. That may come from physical power, which is quite animalistic, or I will derive my power from other authority. Why should you listen to me? I will tell you, you should listen to me because I am elder to you. I am more knowledgeable than you. I am your boss. I am your teacher. I am the most powerful person in the town. I am a minister. I am a police. Something more powerful than you. Then you will be compelled to listen to me. Agree? See, power structures are unique creations of humans. We are seasoned to follow them. In fact, our educational system, the modern educational system, is an attempt to teach the next generation how this power game works. You tell me, what is the most important lesson today's children learn in school? Is it language, mathematics, geography, history, economics? No, not anything like this. Information is today easily available. Everyone knows what is there in internet. All information is out there for you to consume the way you like it. There are so many choices. So what exactly does the modern schooling do to our young kids? They teach norms, discipline, rules. What is the most common phrase a student will listen in his classroom today? Keep quiet, don't make noise, don't do this, don't do that. Why are you like this? Why are you not like everyone? This is what schooling does. It is an elaborate institutional setup to make our kids quiet dolls. Our long schooling system is making them silent, kill their creativity, and make them machines ready to take orders. I have been a teacher for more than a decade and a half now. I have seen that students are very good if you tell them what to do. But if you tell them do something on your own, they will start shivering. The situation is so pathetic that even someone who wants to do PhD will come and ask you, "Sir, give us a problem statement." They are not able to think on their own. If they can't come up with a problem which will keep them engaged for few years, how will they think of solving it? This is the tragedy of our current educational system. We have reduced education to a factory which creates brain dead young men who really are incapable of facing challenges of this modern world. Friends, I am taking this example because I know all of you can relate to it. What is the takeaway from this? Let me explain. Many of you may know why our modern education system is structured in this way. That is because our foreign rulers wanted to train us in the way they treated us, slaves. So this education system is designed to manufacture slaves who obey orders. This is not an education system which aims to create a vibrant, dynamic young people who are skilled to serve this nation, make it prosperous, and make it self-reliant. Look around you. Where are our best brains? They are developing software for some foreign company. They are designing new drugs for global pharma giants. They are heading the multinational superpowers, helping institutions like International Monetary Fund, World Bank, United Nations, and whatnot. So, bright students of this country get trained in those areas which are beneficial for others. The country which nourishes them at young does not get anything in return. What is more damaging is this education system also breaks them from their roots. Is there anything in our educational system which is remotely connected to our culture? No. Why? Because that is wrong. We have to provide secular education. So they say. If being secular means forgetting our roots, if being secular means not practicing our culture, if being secular means blindly following Western practices, then it is better not to be secular at all. Okay, we know all these things, you may say. What's new? Well, I want you to just think how we reached here. What are the reasons which led us to this deplorable path? Finding answer to this question is important because otherwise we will be repeating the same mistakes. So let's examine this in a more detailed manner. Let me go back to my original question. I was asking you how I will try to convince you to do something. And we concluded that it's one's authority that determines his power to implement something. So, if I am a teacher, I will say these are the rules that you have to follow in my class. If I am a HOD, I will implement the same rules for the entire department. If I am principal, I will decide the rules for a college. So when someone has authority, they can make rules. Administration controls the population through law. Law is the tool using which authority is implemented. There is a problem with culture. Remember, we have already understood that culture is collective expression of people. In our tradition, we differentiate between samskara and samskriti. Samskara is individual culture. How should one behave in moral and ethical manner in private life is the concern of samskara. Certain rituals which every individual has to go through helps him do that. For example, after Brahmopadesha or Janev, he is eligible for studying. Then he has to follow some rules. So samskara is both a ritual and a set of rules to be followed. Samskriti is somewhat complex. In a society, it is not enough if every individual behaves in a right way. A society should work in a more unified manner. There are rules and regulations which everyone should follow. It's not an individual choice. It's a collective responsibility. How to implement this in a society is a difficult question, because there should be someone to supervise these things. He should have the authority over everyone. Then he can implement things. In our tradition, this power was given to kings. They were given the mandate of implementing law and order in the lines of dharma. That is why a good and noble king was considered as God himself. Look at Rama. He made his life mission to uphold dharma. He repeatedly says that nothing is more important for him than dharma. Being a king, he implemented it first in his life so that he can ask his people to follow it. In that way, he was an exemplary leader. He led from the front. For the sake of dharma, he spent 14 years in exile, though it was very much unnecessary. After that, he deserted his own wife. Why Rama is worshipped in this country? Not because he killed Ravana and other evil forces. Many other warriors have done such things. Even if Rama had killed Ravana alone, he would be considered as a war hero and not as God. Rama is God for us because even for a moment he did not slip away from the path of dharma. That is the glory of Sri Rama. So the point I am trying to make here is simple. If you want to implement a particular thought in a society, you need to do it under law. Law cannot be separated from culture. Law should be the implementer of culture. It's the only way out there. But look what has happened in our country. For long, we were under colonial rule. Under their rule, the law was according to their fancy. Then we became independent. What we had to do then? We had to make laws which uphold our culture. But what have we done instead? We have continued to stay with the laws which are created by foreign powers. Here and there we have made small changes, but our majority of the act are still from the colonial era. Let me give some examples. Indian Police Act 1861, Land Acquisition Act 1894, Foreigners Act 1946, Indian Forest Act 1927, Indian Partnership Act 1932, Transfer of Property Act 1882, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, and so on. Friends, now tell me, what is the need for these acts? Why are we not looking at them seriously? I have one more question. If you have no problem in using the laws which are written more than 100-150 years because you are okay with the laws designed by British and you consider them good, then what is the problem if we design the laws according to our Dharma Shastra, which is thousands of years old? And moreover, they reflect our culture better. And remember, our Shastras are not written in stone. There is enough scope in them to alter them and make them relevant for today. We should have an open mind and willpower to do it, that's all. Friends, does India need the laws designed by British, or should it change, and should we adopt the rules of this culture is a question I leave it to you to answer. What I want to add finally is that law today is implemented greatly by technology. You see, while you skip a red light, most of the times it is not the police who will catch you doing this, but an automated computer system that will have a program which will identify you as an offender and generate a challan which is messaged to you. You see, technology is a tool through which law can be implemented easily. I hope you understand this. So, let's consolidate all the points discussed till now. First, we saw how culture needs to be implemented in a society through law. It is law which gives the authority for rulers. Then we saw how it is necessary for us to look into implementing laws based on culture of our land rather than following the laws designed by foreign rulers. Finally, we saw how technology can implement law. Putting all things together, we can learn that first laws have to be changed to reflect the culture of this country. Then we as technologists should create tools to implement that law. That is our primary duty towards our culture and our country. Om Prakritihi Panchabhutani Swaraloka Swarastata Dishah Kalascha Sarvesham Sada Kurvatu Mangalam.